So I just spent 20 minutes with my sister, who is my fabulous makeup artist, and she kept trying to redraw my lips because apparently my lips are asymmetrical. Well, hi, it's Angela from Esteem Lingerie, and guess what? My lips are asymmetrical and so are my breasts. And believe it or not, I'm not alone in this issue of asymmetrical breasts. And what that simply means is one breast is bigger than the other. Guess what, ladies? If you're worrying about this, there's no need to worry about it any further because you're in great company. The vast majority of women have at least a small difference to sometimes a larger difference in the shape and the volume of their breasts. And I hate to break it to you, but sometimes even the ones that are created by man are still not 100% symmetrical. That's because humans generally aren't symmetrical. But the challenge is, bras are. When they construct a bra, they're constructing it symmetrically, yet women aren't. So I want to show you today how we fit asymmetrical breasts to get the best appearance under most clothing that is still flexible enough for movement and everyday wear. I mean, hey, it's great. If you're standing on the red carpet all day and it's a perfect moment in time, then we don't need to worry about that. But for most women, your fit has to work with your entire day and be able to work for you no matter what you're doing. So let me give you a close-up look at what two really different breasts look like. Wait, sorry to interrupt this video, but really important. Can you please share this with all your girlfriends, your family, your friends? Because you know what? We need to get this message out. Share our channel, subscribe to it, like it, and give the gift of bra knowledge and education. Now back to the video. Okay, so I wore this bra specifically today to show you how I basically fit my bigger breast and camouflage my smaller breast. Now, one of the things is that the greater the difference in the breasts, the more that typical formed cup bras tend to actually accentuate that difference rather than camouflaging it. I'm a big fan, particularly for larger breasted women, of wearing a cut and sewn cup because we can fit the larger breast and keep it from subdividing because we don't want three breasts, as well as we can keep the smaller breast actually supported so we stay symmetrical throughout the entire day. So you can see over here, this is my bigger side, and on most bras I fit that 36 GH cup on my bigger side. Now if I was just to fit my smaller side, this little girl over here is more of like a 36 E cup, maybe an F if we're having a good day. So I have quite a difference between my breasts. And this actually happened to occur after the birth of my second child. So here's the thing that a lot of women forget. Our breasts are constantly changing and evolving throughout our entire life. And so what may have worked at 18, 20 may not work during pregnancy, childbirth, may not work right after pregnancy, and here's the news flash. As we go into later in life, perimenopause and menopause, our breasts can continue to change and evolve. So what's really important is that you're refitting your breasts for who you are today. Not trying to look back in the past, not trying to predict the future. Who are you today and what is your body today? And let's fit it and show it to the best of the ability. Now you notice as I'm doing all these movements, my breasts aren't moving, my bigger girl's not trying to flop out of my bra, and my little girl isn't flapping in the breeze or being basically just covered. So, looking down here, you can see that this is that camouflage I was talking about. Fitting the larger breast, camouflaging the smaller breast. Now, I don't fill out up here, but this still stays relatively smooth because my strap is adjusted slightly different than this side. But also the cut and sewn cup is keeping the fullness of my breast in the apex of the cup where it should be. And as you can see, all the extra fabric is hiding under the breast here, where frankly, if somebody's this close to see what's going on, I'm slapping or kissing them. Underneath most shirts and most outfits, what most people see is that my breasts are symmetrical. There's two of them, they're not mashed together, and that I don't have my bigger breast bulging out, causing that bubble that is really distracting. So here we are back with my shirt on, and you can see that for the most part, if you're looking straight at me, I look fairly symmetrical. Now, if you look to the side, you can see definitely this is my fuller breast, and this way you can see that this is my smaller breast. However, let's be honest, most people don't have the time or energy to be examining my breast in this much detail. I'm showing this to you so that you can understand, hey, we can fit it, we can keep you comfortable, you don't need to have a bunch of enhancers in there if you don't want to. And guess what? I stand up straight and tall and I don't worry about it. My bra and my breasts are no more obtrusive than any other part of my body. And that's what I hope every day we can get women to. Now, if this is something where you are feeling really sensitive about it and the differences in your breast and it's significant, then there are some options that we can add in to help with that difference in size. Often they're called cookies and jellies. Well, I'm going to show you a few that I think work really well. So normally what you see on the market is a lot of little jellies and enhancers that look like this. Sometimes you also see them with little crescent shapes, that kind of thing. Now, what's really interesting is the vast majority of these are actually designed for smaller breasted women. So if you're under that C, maybe a full D cup, and below B or A or double A, these can work really well, but they do tend to add a lot of weight to your bra. So you need to make sure that your band is snug enough so that this isn't pulling the bra forward. And the other thing to keep in mind is ideally you want the circumference to actually go around the entire breast so that we are globally adding that extra tissue to make them more even. Not evil. To make them more even. Depending on who you are, sometimes breasts can be evil. But let's get back to the topic. So you want these to go all around the breast so that the lines of them hide within the cup and don't end up being this big ring just around, like almost like an extra large areola. Now, if you're like me and you're larger breasted, then actually looking into post-mastectomy or post-lumpectomy prosthetics may give you a much better solution. So this is one called Succutex by Anita, and it fully goes around but just adds that little bit of extra volume underneath the breast while still filling out the inside of the bra cup. It's incredibly lightweight and it also is somewhat breathable. When I'm dressing up, if say I'm wearing a strapless dress or something that requires me to absolutely be symmetrical or the outfit will not lie properly, this is what I wear in my bra. And it's honestly so comfortable I usually forget I'm wearing them, which is always a surprise when I get undressed and this falls out of my bra. Now something like this is definitely a great investment if you're like me where the asymmetricalness has not evened itself out as I go through other hormonal shifts. So keep this in mind. You would definitely need to go to a shop that carries post-mastectomy prosthetics though to find something like this, and it will have a slightly higher price point. If you are larger breasted, cut and sewn cups tend to do what we want. They support the bigger breast, they camouflage the smaller breast really well. If you are smaller breasted, sometimes you can get away with a foam formed cup in order to camouflage the difference. The challenge is you do need to watch that harder line, what I call the bubble and gape. When you bend and move, these are designed to kind of bubble or gape. And what can often happen then is the smaller breast sinks into the bottom of the cup and it ends up, basically deteriorating the tone and the tissue that's normally in the upper part of your breast. So what you want to do is make sure that regardless of what style of bra you choose, that your breast is always supported in the cup, that it's not just laying on your torso and being covered. Now, the other thing that I hate to break it to you, and this has always been my nemesis, t-shirt bras. So t-shirt bras are always built on a mold. And if your breast is the mold that they used, you can get a great fit in them. But they tend to display more the differences in breasts. So if there's any asymmetry, your t-shirt bras are typically the bra that is going to show that off the most. So Kind of comes down to what is the lesser of two evils. Is it okay if a little bit of lace or seam shows versus having big gapy wrinkles in the top part of a t-shirt style bra? So we know how I feel on that. I'm not a huge fan on these. I prefer cut and sewn when I'm dealing with asymmetrical breasts. So ladies, bottom line, love the body you have, work with what you have, and dress it to the best of your ability. And remember, we should always be doing more than just lifting our spirits. Make sure you're standing tall, you're breathing deep, and have a wonderful day, not worrying about imperfections and flaws, because we all are asymmetrical beings.